Hello, my dear friends. As someone who has walked this earth for a fair few decades, I've learned an important lesson. Time is far more valuable than money or material things, especially after 70. Yet, so many of us waste it on things that really don't matter anymore. Today, I'll share 12 things that are simply not worth your time or energy anymore. And I promise, the last one might completely change the way you approach life forever. So stick with me until the end. I used to spend an enormous amount of time worrying about what people thought of me. Were they judging how I dressed, what I said, how I behaved? It was exhausting, truly exhausting. And so many of us carry this burden well into our later years. But let me tell you something. The older you get, the more you realize how little it all matters. People are far too busy worrying about their own lives to focus on yours as much as you think. Yes, they may gossip or make a comment here and there, but those fleeting thoughts aren't worth your time. Why let someone else's opinion, which they probably won't remember in a week, dictate how you live your life? Worried about your appearance? Let it go. Wear clothes that make you happy, not ones that conform to outdated ideas of what's appropriate for your age. Always wanted to wear bright red lipstick or a colorful scarf? Go ahead, you've earned it. Want to pick up a new hobby that seems unconventional or quirky? Do it! The truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. But what matters most is how you feel. Ask yourself, am I happy? Am I content? If the answer is yes, then that's all you need. Worrying about others' opinions is like carrying a heavy suitcase filled with nothing but air. Drop it. You'll feel so much lighter and freer when you start living for yourself. Let me paint a picture for you. You wake up in the morning, and instead of enjoying your cup of tea or coffee as the sun rises, your mind immediately goes to your to-do list. The laundry is piling up, the kitchen floor needs scrubbing, there's dust on the shelves, and let's not forget the bathrooms. It's endless, isn't it? For years, I believed my home needed to be spotless at all times. Like a museum, with everything in its place, spotless and perfect. But do you know what that brought me? Tired hands, a sore back, and far too many hours spent chasing an impossible standard. Here's the thing. At this stage of life, your time and energy are precious commodities, far more valuable than spotless floors or gleaming windows. What does it matter if there's a little dust on the bookshelf, or if the dishes sit in the sink for a few extra hours? None of these things affect the quality of your life or the memories you make. Instead of striving for a spotless house, aim for a comfortable and welcoming home. A space that feels lived in, warm, and filled with joy. Delegate chores where you can. Ask your family for help if they're around, or invest in a cleaner if it's within your means. And if neither is an option, tackle the essentials and let the rest go. What's far more valuable than spotless counters is the time you spend doing things you truly love. Imagine sitting on the porch chatting with a friend, reading a novel you've been meaning to start, taking a walk in the park, calling a loved one. Those moments are the ones that truly enrich your life. Life is too short, especially after 70, to spend it chasing dust bunnies or folding every single piece of laundry just so. Save your energy for living, loving, and being fully present in the beautiful moments that matter most. Let me tell you one thing for certain. Grudges are like anchors. They weigh you down, slow you down, and keep you stuck in the past. I know, some hurts run deep. Some wounds may never completely heal. But holding on to resentment doesn't punish the other person. It punishes you. Think about it. The person who wronged you may have moved on with their life, completely unaware of your anger. But you're still carrying that bitterness, letting it take up space in your heart and mind. Is it worth it? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. It doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means choosing to free yourself from the burden of that negativity. If someone has hurt you deeply and they don't deserve a place in your life, let them go. If a situation from the past still stings, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then release it. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Instead, focus on your happiness, your peace, and your well-being, because at the end of the day, the person who benefits the most from letting go is you. We all carry burdens, disappointments, regrets, and unresolved conflicts. They drag behind us like heavy luggage, slowing us down and keeping us from moving forward freely. For years, I carried a bag full of them. Disappointments from friends who let me down, arguments with family members that were never resolved, and even grudges against strangers who probably never even realized I held one in the first place. But let me ask you something. Is it worth it? Is holding on to anger or resentment truly making your life better? Most of the time, the answer is no. When you keep replaying old hurts in your head, you're not punishing the person who wronged you. You're only punishing yourself. You might think forgiveness means letting the other person off the hook. It doesn't. Forgiveness is about setting yourself free. That doesn't mean you have to be friends with everyone or invite toxic people back into your life. It simply means releasing the pain so it no longer holds power over you. I learned to let go of grudges by asking myself one simple question: will this matter when I'm gone? The answer was almost always no. And when I started forgiving, whether it was silently in my heart or through an actual conversation, it was like releasing a 1,000-pound weight. Suddenly, I felt lighter, more at peace, and even healthier. So do yourself a favor. Let go of that grudge you've been carrying. It's never too late to embrace peace. Oh, this one's a real trap, isn't it? Most of us, especially as women, are raised to be caretakers, peacemakers, and pleasers. We put everyone else's happiness above our own. Our children, our partners, our friends, even strangers. And while there's nothing wrong with being kind and considerate, there comes a point when trying to please everyone starts to take more than it gives. Think about it. How often do you say yes to things you don't want to do? How often do you go along with someone else's plans just to keep the peace, even though it leaves you feeling drained or unfulfilled? For years, I thought saying no was selfish. But do you know what's truly selfish? Expecting someone to set themselves on fire to keep everyone else warm. At this stage in life, your time and energy are finite. You can't give endlessly without running dry. So I started asking myself, do I truly want to do this? If the answer was no, I learned to politely decline. It felt uncomfortable at first, especially since I wasn't used to it. But you'd be surprised how much people respect you when you're honest. Pleasing everyone isn't just impossible, it's unnecessary. The people who truly care about you will want you to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. And those who don't? Well, their approval isn't worth your time anyway. So stop spreading yourself thin for others. Focus on pleasing the one person who truly deserves it. You. I used to be a collector of stuff. Clothes I rarely wore, kitchen gadgets I never used, knickknacks that just collected dust. For years, I convinced myself that having the latest, newest, or prettiest things would somehow make life more fulfilling. But when you hit 70, something shifts. You begin to realize that all that stuff, the things you've been accumulating over the years, doesn't bring the happiness or satisfaction it once promised. Think about it. Do you really need 5 different sizes of mixing bowls when you only use one? Do you need a closet packed full of clothes, half of which you haven't touched in years? Does that drawer full of random trinkets bring you joy, or is it just clutter? The truth is, these things often become more of a burden than a blessing. They take up space, they cost money to maintain, and worst of all, they pull your focus away from what truly matters. Instead of buying more, start thinking about what you already have and what you can let go of. Decluttering can be incredibly freeing, not just for your home, but for your mind as well. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. Too many things can leave you feeling overwhelmed instead of at peace. When I started simplifying my life, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I kept only the items that truly brought me joy or served a purpose. The rest, I let go of. And guess what? I didn't miss them. I didn't feel like I had lost anything. In fact, I felt more free than ever. Life after 70 isn't about accumulating things. It's about accumulating experiences, memories, and moments of joy. So the next time you feel the urge to buy something, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it add value to my life? If the answer is no, walk away. Because the best things in life, they aren't things at all. Instead of buying more stuff, invest in experiences. Take a day trip with friends, enjoy a delightful meal, or finally attend that painting class you've been curious about. These are the things that truly enrich your life. They create cherished memories rather than cluttering up your shelves. At this stage in life, quality matters more than quantity. A simple, peaceful environment is far more rewarding than an overstuffed house filled with things you hardly use. When it comes down to it, you can't take any of it with you, so spend wisely and invest in what truly brings you joy. The past. It has a way of creeping into your thoughts when you least expect it. A decision you regret, a moment you wish you could change, or even a missed opportunity that lingers in your mind for years. I used to replay certain events in my head like a broken record, thinking, if only I'd done things differently. But here's the truth. No amount of thinking or rethinking will ever change what's already done. The past is like an old photo album. You can flip through it, reflect on the moments, but you can't step back into those pictures. And do you know what all that overthinking does? It robs you of the present moment, the only time you actually have control over. Instead of focusing on what you can't change, think about what you've learned. The mistakes you dwell on, they've shaped you into the person you are today. The missed opportunities, they taught you resilience and adaptability. Every experience, good or bad, has contributed to your wisdom. Now, when I catch myself slipping into the what-if spiral, I gently remind myself, the past is over, but my story isn't. I still have chapters to write, moments to enjoy, and lessons to share. You don't have to forget your past, but don't let it control you. Accept it, learn from it, and then let it rest where it belongs, behind you. Your energy is far better spent making the most of the life you have right now. For much of my life, I stayed quiet about what I really wanted or needed. Maybe it was out of politeness, maybe out of fear of being seen as selfish or difficult. I'd let small inconveniences pile up, telling myself, it's not a big deal. I don't want to bother anyone. But do you know where that gets you? Frustrated, lonely, and sometimes resentful. As you get older, you realize that life is too short to keep tiptoeing around your needs. You don't have time for people to guess how you're feeling or what you require. You have to spell it out. Need help around the house? Ask for it. Want more quality time with family? Say so. Got the wrong order at a restaurant? Speak up. Voicing your needs isn't selfish, it's necessary. I used to think that speaking up would push people away. But do you know what I discovered? The opposite is true. People appreciate honesty, especially when it comes from a place of respect and kindness. And let me tell you, nothing is as empowering as realizing that your feelings, your comfort, and your happiness are worth the effort. So whether it's advocating for yourself at a doctor's appointment, asking for more attention from loved ones, or setting boundaries to protect your time, remember this: your needs matter. If you don't voice them, no one else will. Stop staying quiet. It's time to let your voice be heard. This is a tough one, isn't it? We've all done it. Looked at someone else's life and thought, why don't I have that? Why don't I look like that? Why haven't I achieved that? It's a dangerous game, and let me tell you, the older you get, the more it steals your joy if you let it. Maybe you see a friend who seems to have the perfect family, or a neighbor who's always off traveling while you stay home, or someone your age who looks younger or more vibrant. Whatever it is, comparisons leave you feeling inadequate, like you're falling behind. But here's the truth: you're not. What you see on the surface is never the full picture. That perfect-looking family, they might be struggling with things they don't share. That well-traveled neighbor, they could be lonely and trying to fill a void. That younger-looking friend, they might have insecurities you can't see. The only person you should ever compare yourself to is your past self. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I learning? Am I living in a way that brings me peace? The goal isn't to be like someone else. It's to become the best version of yourself. Instead of looking sideways, start looking forward. Focus on what you enjoy. Celebrate your own journey. Be grateful for the life you have. Comparison steals your joy, but gratitude brings it back. So stop looking at what others have and start appreciating what's right in front of you. As we grow older, it becomes clearer than ever the things we once worried about, chased after, or held onto so tightly, they don't matter as much as we thought they did. Instead of spending your precious years overthinking the past, trying to please everyone, or comparing yourself to others, focus on what truly brings you peace. Speak up for yourself. Let go of unnecessary burdens. Enjoy the life you have right now, because, my dear friend, your time is too valuable to waste on anything less. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you happier today? Are you healthier? Are you more at peace? These are the only measures that matter. Life isn't a competition, especially not after 70. It's a journey, and each of us walks a different path. When I catch myself comparing, I shift my focus. Instead of looking at what others have, I ask, what am I grateful for in my own life? Gratitude is the best antidote to comparison. Remember, your story is uniquely yours, and it's worth celebrating, not comparing. Oh, how many years did I waste worrying about what other people thought of me? I bet you've done the same. Wondering if you looked good enough, if you said the right thing, if you made the right choices. It's exhausting, isn't it? And here's the truth. Most people are so wrapped up in their own worries that they barely have time to judge you anyway. When I turned 70, a switch flipped. I realized I didn't have the energy or the time to keep molding myself to meet everyone else's expectations. Think about it. Does their opinion pay your bills? Does it bring you joy? Will their judgment matter 5 years from now? Probably not. I've come to understand that the opinions of others don't define me. What does define me? The choices I make, the way I treat people, how I choose to live my life. So instead of worrying about impressing others, I focus on living in alignment with my values: kindness, honesty, and self-respect. The next time you catch yourself agonizing over what someone might think, ask, does their opinion improve my life? Or is it just noise? Most of the time, it's just noise. Let it go. Wear that bright-colored blouse you love. Speak your mind in conversations. And if someone doesn't like it, that's their business, not yours. This one might hit close to home. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want to do, just to avoid disappointing someone or feeling guilty? If you're anything like I used to be, the answer is too many times to count. But let me tell you, after 70, the word no becomes your best friend. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your time, energy, peace of mind. When you're always saying yes, you're giving away pieces of yourself. Pieces you could be using to do what you actually want, like reading that book on your nightstand, gardening, sitting in the sun with a warm cup of tea. Saying no doesn't make you rude or unkind. It makes you honest. And the people who truly care about you, they will understand that. Sure, you might ruffle a few feathers at first. People aren't used to hearing no, especially if you've been a people pleaser for most of your life. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. When I started saying no, I found a sense of freedom I'd never experienced before. I didn't feel trapped or obligated anymore. And you know what else I noticed? People actually started respecting my boundaries. So take this advice. The next time someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, give yourself permission to say no. Kindly, but firmly. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself at this stage in life. Oh, how often I used to believe it was my job to fix everything and everyone. If someone was struggling, I felt like I had to step in. If a family member was unhappy, I thought it was my responsibility to make them feel better. If friends had problems, I'd bend over backward to help, even at my own expense. And do you know what I realized? It's not my job to fix everything. It's not my responsibility to carry other people's burdens, especially when they won't carry their own. As women, we are natural nurturers. But there's a difference between being supportive and taking on responsibilities that aren't ours. I learned the hard way that some people don't want to change, no matter how much you try to help. Some problems aren't yours to solve. And sometimes, the best thing you can do for others is let them figure it out themselves. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you set healthy boundaries and recognize that your peace matters too. Instead of trying to fix everyone else's problems, ask yourself, is this truly my responsibility? If the answer is no, step back. Offer support, love, and encouragement, but don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. At this stage of life, you deserve to prioritize your own well-being. And trust me, when you stop trying to fix everyone else's problems, you'll feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. At 70 and beyond, your time is too precious to waste on things that no longer serve you. Let go of comparisons. Stop worrying about what others think. Say no when you mean it, and stop carrying burdens that aren't yours. This is your time. Live it on your own terms. For much of my life, I believed it was my duty to fix the problems of those around me. If a family member struggled, I rushed in with advice or tried to fix things. If a friend faced difficulties, I lost sleep worrying about how to help. At the time, I thought it was kindness. But looking back, I see it for what it truly was. Me taking on burdens that weren't mine to carry. Here's the truth. You can't fix everything for everyone. People need to solve their own problems to grow. As much as you may want to step in and make everything better, the best thing you can do is listen with compassion, offer encouragement, provide wisdom, but not control. But it's not your job to carry their struggles on your shoulders. By 70, you realize that your energy is limited, and you can't afford to waste it worrying about things you can't control. When I finally let go of the need to solve everyone's issues, I found a peace I hadn't felt in years. Stepping back isn't abandoning them, it's giving them the space to become stronger, while you focus on living your own life with joy and tranquility. I saved the most important one for last. Because, believe me, it's the easiest to forget. For decades, we put everyone else first. We raise children, we take care of partners, we help friends, neighbors, even acquaintances, and we tell ourselves that our happiness can wait. Then suddenly, you're 70, and you realize that someday never came. Happiness isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you choose every single day. And at this stage in life, you deserve to put yourself first. That might mean making time for the things that bring you joy, gardening, painting, traveling, or simply sitting in peace with a good book, reconnecting with an old friend, picking up a new hobby, finally saying, I deserve to be happy too. Happiness doesn't just happen. You have to claim it. Your days ahead aren't endless, but they can be full of laughter, adventure, and joy, if you make them so. When you stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start prioritizing what makes you truly happy, your entire world shifts. Life becomes lighter, more vibrant, more meaningful. You're not just going through the motions, you're fully living. And that, my dear friend, is what life is really about. You have spent so many years caring for others. Now it's your turn. So, I challenge you. Start today. Let go of what weighs you down. Say yes to what excites you. Claim the happiness you deserve. And if this message spoke to your heart, do these 3 things. Like this video, it lets me know you're here. Subscribe for more wisdom and encouragement. Join my channel newsletter, where I share tips, stories, and inspiration for living your best life after 70. Until next time, be kind to yourself, embrace joy, and never stop living fully. You might not realize it, but there are things you're doing, or could be doing, that instantly make you more attractive no matter your age. Some of them are so simple, yet often overlooked. Trust me, you'll want to know all 8, because the last one on this list might completely change how you see yourself. Don't click away. Your perspective could shift forever by the end of this video. The most attractive thing about any woman, especially as she gets older, is confidence in her own skin. But let's be real. Confidence isn't always easy. We live in a world that bombards women with messages about looking younger, being thinner, or changing who we are. These constant pressures can chip away at how we see ourselves. So, how do you reclaim that confidence? First, understand that confidence doesn't come from other people's approval. It comes from within. Think about everything you've been through in life: heartbreaks, setbacks, triumphs, and moments of pure joy. You've overcome challenges that would leave many people stuck, and you've done it with grace. That resilience is your foundation, proof that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. Confidence also means letting go of the need to compare. You're not the same as the woman next door, your friend from high school, or a model on a magazine cover. And that's a good thing. You are uniquely you. Nobody else can tell your story or walk in your shoes. The sooner you embrace that, the more attractive you'll be to those around you. Another part of confidence is accepting the changes that come with age. Your body may look different, but it has carried you through decades of life. Those laugh lines? They're evidence of countless moments of joy. That gray hair? It's a badge of wisdom. Confidence doesn't mean ignoring those changes. It means wearing them with pride. Finally, take small steps to boost your confidence every day. Wear clothes that make you feel fabulous, not because they're trendy, but because they fit you. Stand tall, with your shoulders back and your head held high. Speak with conviction, even about the smallest things. And remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about owning who you are, flaws and all. When you do that, people can't help but be drawn to you. Now, let's talk about something even simpler but equally powerful: your smile. You might not think much about it, but a genuine, heartfelt smile can transform how people see you and how you feel about yourself. Why is a smile so important? It's the first thing people notice about you. Whether you're walking into a room, meeting someone new, or simply passing a stranger on the street, your smile is a powerful tool. It signals warmth, approachability, and kindness. 3 qualities that instantly make you more attractive. And here's the best part: smiling doesn't just make others feel good, it makes you feel good too. Science backs this up. When you smile, your body releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that reduce stress and boost your mood. In other words, the more you smile, the happier and more radiant you become. But there's a key difference between a forced smile and a real one. A genuine smile comes from within. It's not just about moving your lips, it's about letting joy and positivity shine through your eyes. Have you ever noticed how some people have a smile that instantly makes you feel at ease? That's because it's authentic, and authenticity is magnetic. If you're feeling a little low on smiles these days, here's a tip. Find small moments of joy in your daily life. Maybe it's a funny memory, a song you love, or a heartfelt conversation with a friend. Let those moments bring out your natural smile. So, the next time you catch yourself in the mirror, give yourself a smile. You might be surprised at how it lifts your mood and enhances your natural beauty. A smile is more than just an expression. It's a silent invitation. When you smile at a stranger on the street, you're saying, "I'm approachable, I'm kind, I'm someone you'd want to know." And as we get older, that kind of openness becomes a rare and beautiful thing. But here's the key: it has to be genuine. We've all seen those forced smiles in photos or the polite ones exchanged at social gatherings. They don't carry the same weight as the ones that come from the heart. A real smile isn't just about curving your lips, it's about what's behind it. Happiness, gratitude, or even a simple moment of peace. When it's authentic, it shows. Your eyes light up, your face softens, and the warmth is contagious. Smiling isn't just a social tool, it's good for your health. Did you know that every time you smile, your brain releases endorphins and serotonin? These feel-good hormones naturally boost your mood and reduce stress levels. But it's not just you who benefits. Studies have shown that seeing someone smile triggers a subconscious response in others, making them more likely to smile back. It's a ripple effect of positivity, a silent exchange of warmth between people, even strangers. As an older woman, your smile carries even more depth. It reflects everything you've lived through, the highs and lows, the lessons learned, and the moments that made life worth living. A genuine smile says, "I've seen it all, and I still have so much joy to share." That resilience, optimism, and strength are incredibly attractive. So how can you embrace your smile more? Start by finding reasons to smile every day. Take a moment to appreciate the little joys: a phone call with a loved one, a peaceful walk in nature, or the comforting warmth of your morning tea. Smile at strangers, even if they don't smile back. And most importantly, practice smiling when you look in the mirror, not to pick yourself apart, but to remind yourself of all the reasons you're proud to be who you are. Your smile is a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone around you. When it's authentic,